How's it going, guys? Quick preview, quick going over my trades from today. I actually didn't trade SPY once. I traded Disney, Oxy, X, and AMD. Went 3 for 5 on the day, kind of got chopped around. Started off the morning really strong and then kind of gave back some gains later in the day. Very choppy day on SPY, and typically what I like to do is choppy on SPY, I like to play SPY. And that's something that I think that I started going away from today because I'm better at scalping SPY than I am other tickers. So I needed to realize that and kind of just switch over to SPY halfway through the day. It was a green day anyways, but definitely could have done better. So Disney, I was talking about this last night. If you watched my watch list video, it was this big level at 115.7, and this was a gap fill play. You can see we were in the gap and it was showing a lot of relative weakness. We were seeing a lot of major pumps in the morning and Disney wasn't pumping. So I went ahead and I took this retest. I entered pretty much right at 115.7, stop loss anywhere above. And the reason why I sold all of my contracts down here is because of this. Once we created this lower high, I was expecting us to create a higher low. So we created this lower high. I know it's not a wedge, but created a lower high. I'm expecting a higher low. I wouldn't. Sometimes I would wait for demand zone, something like this, for us to retest, but SPY was extremely strong, so I wasn't expecting much out of it. And then I went ahead and turned out and played Disney again. I played this on a trend line break. Once we broke below this trend line, I entered on this candle right here, 745. We got a nice move down. I rode this. I think I sold on somewhere around on this candle at 755. So was killing it on Disney. Took a nap, came back, and didn't do as well. There's a couple trades. The first one I took on AMD. Looking back on it, it was a pretty stupid trade just because SPY was at support, and I'm not very good with AMD. You can see where I entered right here at 1020. We lost the support point that I had at 93. I know there's a lot of wicks down here, but 93 is a big cycle level as well. And we were bouncing pretty much perfectly off it the entire day. So once we got this retest on 1020 candle, I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot right here. And then, of course, we went straight back up. Small loss because I pretty much exited halfway through the candle because I was like, yeah, this is going to reverse on me, isn't it? It was just something, SPY was chopping around. I shouldn't have been trying to force a breakdown or anything. Next trade was on Oxy. This was a winning trade, but it didn't play out as I wanted it to. End up pretty much selling the first half for about 15%, second half for about 10% because of theta. And I was pretty much, we had this first falling wedge, which I really wish I was paying attention to because this was a great play. And then that second falling wedge, I was like, all right, well, if we got it once, we'll get it again. But of course, you're never going to get the same outcome twice because why would they make it that easy? I've entered at the bottom of this zone because I was like, all right, I'll keep my stop loss as minimal as possible. Anything below 73.4, I'm out. So I entered around 73.5, got this large candles up about 15-20% of the cons at that point. Went ahead and scaled out half, and pretty much my stop loss at that point was anywhere below these, anywhere below this trend line. You can see we were testing with some wicks, but we never really broke below on the 5-minute candles. And then I sold the second half once we were rejecting this area a lot, and I've gotten pretty familiar with Oxy price action, and I was actually watching the tape on it, and we were just rejecting over and over again. No buyers are really coming in strong. So I think I exited most on this candle right here at 70, around 73.9. This 74 area was acting as a very tough resistance. So that was a winning trade, but definitely not how I wanted to. You can see it actually is pumping up during after hours. This could be a great play again tomorrow. I talked about this in my watch list as well. I did miss this morning jump off, and that was because I slept in. I was really mad about it because I talked about this wedge yesterday, and it was a great play in the morning. Last play that I took was on X. This was a very annoying trade. You can see my idea here. X I like to play because it doesn't move as well with the market. So if I see a setup on X and I don't see a setup on SPY, I'll take the X setup. So I played this. I pretty much entered on this candle at 1150. Looking back on it, it wasn't a bad setup, but from a volume perspective, there just was no volume. Nothing was really moving, and it was kind of just chopping around all day. So yes, we did get that trend line break. But once we were just riding this trend line, I think I was down like 15% on it. I was like, all right, but my ideal scenario was I wanted to break out and then sell half and hold the other overnight because the setup doesn't look bad. And pretty much once we were just chopping out this trend line, I was like, this isn't worth it. I'm just going to get out. Entered around 23.34, I want to say. Exit around like 23.3, but with theta. killed me for about 15-20%. So that's it for me. Went 3 for 5. Looking back at SPY, there just wasn't much there. That late day breakdown was definitely tempting for a 0 day, but um, I stayed away from it. There was a lot of fake outs today. This little move right here was really annoying. This is when I took the AMD trade. We had this inverse hammer, and then boom, Tesla shot up and the market shot up. I think really the only setup that I was really wanting to take was this head and shoulders that we had in the morning. And I talked about this in the watch list last night. It's exactly what I was expecting. A lot of tech was at a major support point, and we got that pump at open and then that dump off. So it played out exactly how I wanted it to. I just didn't take advantage of it. This head and shoulders was a perfect play. We came up and we tested this old resistance, tested this zone, and then dumped off. Fortunately, I was in Disney at the time. Anyways, it was still a green day, so can't complain that much. But on a day like this, it's not as much being green; it is more just surviving. It's could have been a huge red day if you're sitting there trying to force a trade all day, but we were able to just pretty much ignore SPY. So I'm gonna post a video going over my watch list. The watch list last night killed. I'll go over what I was talking about last night and how that worked out today. But looking back on it, those were some really great entry points. Hope you guys had a great day, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you.